Hi guys, welcome back to Jurassic Collectibles. Feast your eyes on this. This is what we're going to be looking at today. It's the Series 1 Jurassic Park toy line, minus maybe the Command Compound, which is going to be coming up in a separate review. This is the start of my showcasing the entire Jurassic Collectibles collection. It's something that you guys ask for really frequently and I want to deliver. I want to show you the entire collection that we have and in as few videos as possible. So part 1 is going to focus on the toys. If you're new to the channel, each of these have been individually reviewed on the channel, so I'll put links to everything down below if you want to go and have a closer look at each one on their own. But today we're going to do an overview of the entire Series 1 collection. So to kick off with the smallest items first, here are the Diecast figure collection, and each of those comes with their own collector's trading cards. We have reviewed each of these individually. And you can get a closer look at all of those in their individual videos. Like I said, it's all going to be down below. So that's the entire Diecast collection. Probably some of my favourites are this one over here with the spitter. It's got some little spitter hatchlings, which are cool. And I like the one with the T-Rex, which I think is down there. I could never get this one. It was always sold out in the shops. Okay, so now we're getting into the real Series 1 toy line, and starting with the action figures, we've got Alan Grant here. He came with a net launcher, which was spring-loaded, a little grenade, and a Pteranodon minifigure. Now all of the action figures came with dinosaur minifigures, and that was great because I couldn't always afford the dinosaur figures, so it was nice that when you bought an action figure it came with a dinosaur as well. Then we got Dennis Nedry here with removable arms. You can see one of the arms has fallen loose in this packaging, but I like that because I can see what his feature is when he's on display. Got the Dilophosaurus minifigure here. Got some, I think they're like almost like night vision goggle type things. So I think they're like protective goggles. And then this is like a spray gun, so you could fill this with water and it would spurt out water. Then we've got Tim here, Tim Murphy. And he comes with a Brachiosaur minifigure, and it comes with a cage as well, and a snare, and most importantly the night vision goggles. Like I said, you can get a closer look at each of these in their individual reviews, so you can have a closer look at those night vision goggles in that video. Next up is Muldoon, and he's got the Tyrannosaur minifigure. This was the first figure I ever picked up from the Jurassic Park Series 1 toy line, and I really liked his rocket booster as well. I remember this being my favourite figure out of the whole line, just because of the simplicity. I liked the rocket launcher and I like the fact he came with a T-Rex. And then over here we've got Ellie Sattler. She comes with a Triceratops minifigure and a cool grappling gun which reminded me of Batman at the time I bought it. Really nice. What was cool about these action figures is they had really cool toy line displays on the back. You could see what else was available, and I always remember looking at these and going, oh my god. And they actually used a Stan Winston model for the T-Rex because at the time the toy wasn't complete, so they used the Stan Winston model as a stand-in. And something interesting to note is that they actually used the Stan Winston model as a cast for the toy, for the actual T-Rex toy. So if you get this red T-Rex, not this one, but the red T-Rex, it is actually cast off the mold of the Stan Winston maquette. Okay, so next up, the dinosaurs. Now this is part of what I call the affordable dinosaur range because these were around the same price as the action figures, so you could pick these up fairly easily. This is the spitter, and this one you could actually dip his head in water and squeeze his chest, and then when you release it, it would suck the water into his chest, and then you could use him as like a spray gun. Pretty cool, and he was articulated as well. And then here we've got the Pteranodon. This one had a button on its back. When you press the button, its wings would flap. Really cool little feature. Here we have the Dimetrodon. This one got everywhere. Everyone had this. It was one of those ones that really filled the shelves and nobody really wanted because it wasn't in the film, but everyone ended up having one because there was no other resort. So it's pretty cool. You could pull on its back leg and squeeze it to make his jaw open, which is pretty cool, spring-loaded jaws. Then here we've got another one that didn't appear in the film. This is the Coelophysis. These are quite rare now, I think probably because they weren't very popular, but they had bendy wire bodies, so you could actually wrap them around figures and stuff. And again, still articulated, which is pretty cool for something that's rubbery. And then last but not least, the Velociraptor. And this is my personal favourite of the affordable line because obviously it's the Raptor. It's the favourite. Didn't matter that the colour wasn't 100%. To be honest, on a lot of these dinosaurs the colours weren't accurate. But this was a cool figure. You pull back on its leg and its jaws would snap forward and bite. So, and this was still articulated again as well. So this one, when I used to own this one out of the box when I was younger, this is the one that got really beaten up and worn and used because it was my most loved toy. Next up, we're moving into the more expensive line of dinosaurs. So these were usually double the price of these affordable dinosaurs, but that's because they had electronic features. So this one is a similar mould to the other raptor, but it actually looks more accurate to the one you see in the film, and it's a bit bigger, and if you pull its legs back it would actually scream and its arms would prise apart. Pretty cool. And the collector's card is quite grim as well. You can see these raptors snapping at someone's already injured leg. Pretty cool. And that was the thing about these, they were quite gory sometimes, and as a kid you thought, wow, that's cool. Because you know, as a kid you're always into that sort of stuff. Next up we've got the Dilophosaurus here, electronic Dilophosaurus, and you can see he's got a detachable frill, which the other Dilophosaurus did not come with, so that gave him a little bit of an edge, and he's a bit bigger as well. And these two are actually made from a harder plastic. Now at the time the rubbery skin on this one and also the Coelophysis was quite a new feature. You thought like rubbery skin was cool, but as a child I think I preferred the feel of hard plastic, so to me these felt like more expensive. But you can pull back on the, I think it was the arm, and the jaw opens and it makes a scream. I believe it screams twice in one cycle. So these are really cool, and were a bit more expensive, so they have that sort of exclusive feel to them still. Okay, so now on to the vehicles, and we're going to start off with this. It's the Jungle Explorer. This is a beautiful piece. It looks exactly like the one you see in the film, pretty much, apart from the rocket launcher which is on the back. It's a really nice version of the vehicle that we see in the film, and it's my favourite because it was one of the ones I owned, and in fact out of the vehicles it was the only one I owned. So yeah, it's really good to have this one as it originally came in the box. I think on the top there is some artwork of how the actual toy looks as opposed to a painted picture, and you can see there they've been really faithful to what you see in the film, and it does have dino damage, so the bonnet comes off and you can flip round the rocket on the top there, so that's pretty cool. And you can even open up the bubble of the dome, which is really cool. You can see some of the features there, and when you take the bonnet off it exposes the engine underneath, which is really cool. And when you fire the dart, this little chamber in the side goes from grey to red, indicating that it's full of dino blood or a sample or whatever you want to call it. Down here we got the Bush Devil Tracker. Now this one used to feature in the adverts for Jurassic Park Series 1 toys, and I always wanted it but never got round to buying it. And it features a snare which is similar to Tim Murphy's action feature, his gimmick. And you can see there's actually Tim Murphy in the painted picture. And on the top you can see a picture of the toy itself. You may remember this one, it's a really famous toy, and very faithful again to the Jeep Wrangler that we see in the film. Has a little rocket launcher on the back and the snare on the side, so really cool. And I wouldn't be surprised this inspired a lot of the vehicles that we see in the Lost World, because they have a lot of seats that slide out. And here is the Capture Copter, which was the biggest of the three vehicles of the vehicle line, and was the fictional one as well. There was a helicopter in the film, obviously the one that transported the guests to the island, but there wasn't a militarised vehicle like the one we see here. And actually some theorise that this might have been a prototype toy for something like Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, or something like that, and then they just ported it over to the Jurassic Park line. You can see it there in the window if you look closely. That's Alan Grant driving the cockpit of the helicopter, which is quite funny. And then on the top we've got a picture of the toy itself, with a young Tyrannosaurus Rex in its net, and it comes with a rocket launcher, and you can release the net as well by pressing the button on the top, which is really cool. Okay, so moving now on to the big guys and my personal favourites. This is the Triceratops with head ramming attack. You could squeeze his ribcage and his head would sort of dip up and down. Pretty cool. And these came with the realistic dinosaur skin, which made them kind of feel a bit more rubbery. Like I said at the time, I thought the rubbery skin was a bit of a bad thing, but now I really appreciate it. and it's great to have this one because I didn't own this one as a child. On the back you've got a beautiful diorama with the Triceratops, and this one was heavily featured in the marketing around the time that the film came out. Next up here we have the Stegosaurus with whip action spike tail, probably one of the weakest gimmicks in the dinosaurs. Basically it just has a rubbery tail, not really that great. You can see here's the Stegosaurus on the back with the action figures, really nice diorama. Should bring back a lot of memories for you Jurassic Park fans. Next up is the young Tyrannosaurus Rex, and this one's in absolutely perfect condition. The box is amazing, and the colour of the paint job, everything just looks really vibrant, like it's just been made today. So I really appreciate the condition of this one. And actually this was one I owned. I didn't own the big red Rex, I owned this one instead because I think at the time my family couldn't really afford the big one. So yeah, this one's really cool. Nice diorama there on the back. And last but not least, the ginormous Tyrannosaurus Rex, the big red Rex. This one was really famous around the time that the film came out, and he had electronic stomping sounds and roaring sounds. We have done an unboxing, and it's a working version of the T-Rex in that unboxing video, so go and check that one out down below. And on the back here we got a really nice diorama with the action figures and all of the other dinosaurs in the line. This certainly got me excited when I saw it in the stores, but unfortunately I did not own this one when the film came out, so it's really nice to own one now. So there we have it. That was today's look at the Series 1 Kenner toy line. Let us know in the comments below what you'd like to see in future collection videos. Maybe screen use props, replica props, or maybe some printed material like the entire collection of the comics. Let us know in the comments down below. In the meantime, make sure you check out the rest of the videos on the channel because I think you're really going to enjoy them, and rate, comment and subscribe. Okay guys, see you in the next collection video.